all kids can play. CP has heart. And thank you. Calgary Flames organization would like to sincerely thank all fans in attendance tonight and every night for another great show of support. Budweiser wants you to remember there's more great games waiting, so please enjoy responsibly. Calgary Flames back under Scotiabank Saddledome Thursday night when we take on the Dallas Stars on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Game time, 7 o'clock. Head to calgaryflames.com for all your ticket information. On behalf of all of us, my name is Beasley saying so long and good night. We'll see you Thursday, 7 o'clock, and we'll take on, of course, Dallas. Right now, we go down to Parker and Cory Sarich for tonight's Ram post-game show, brought to you by your Alberta Ram dealers.
Winning Motor Trend Truck of the Year 3 times in a row, that had never been done before. Then again, neither had a 12-inch touchscreen or 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Never been done before. It's just kind of our thing.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Ram Truck, winner of Motor Trend Truck of the Year for the 3rd year in a row. Brendan Parker alongside Cory Sarich making his Flames TV debut here this season, not overall, but welcome. And yeah, breaking down a Calgary Flames loss tonight, which is snaps the 6-game win streak for the Flames they had put together, and this one comes in overtime. So I guess a point streak kind of continues. But maybe first of all, let's look at a game that felt like I don't know, it seemed like it had a couple of different waves to it in some ways. First period, that was kind of back and forth, and then he settled in after that. But what did you make of a 3-2 loss here tonight?
Well, the game had a few different eras in it, I guess you could say.
We had the
80s in the first period, and then it was the tight lockdown of the 90s, the left wing lock.
Yeah.
And then it kind of got back to some normalcy in the third, although there wasn't a ton of offense in that third period. But this game could have been won by the Calgary Flames in the first period had they capitalized on their chances, and got to give UC Saros some pretty good credit for holding his team in there.
Yeah, no question about it. We'll go through some of those chances in just a moment, but first let's show you what happened in terms of the goals, some of the highlights from this hockey game. And it starts in that first period as we go all the way back, and it was actually the Preds that would get on the board first. Now, Calgary, over this win streak, had scored first in every single game. This is the first time they had trailed in this stretch, and it's Luke Cunnin who scores it.
Yeah, you have Shillington here. He kind of lost a step, maybe lost the battle off the boards, and a bit of a seeing eye shot.
Sure.
But the guys are driving hard to the net. That's defense's responsibility to try to keep that guy on the outside.
And obviously a nice little bounce there as well to beat Markstrom. But here's kind of one that goes right back for the Calgary Flames. And this is the power play that kind of goes to work, Matthew Tkachuk in front.
It was a nice bounce back by the Calgary Flames too. They needed it. They haven't trailed very often this season, and they don't want to when they don't have to.
Nice response there for sure. But before the end of the period is out, this is another response, and it's from Nashville. Philip Forsberg with a quick strike off a loose puck.
Yeah, it's tough because you think, as the defenseman in front, you think that puck is going into the corner. Hanifin's a little bit slow to react. They maybe should have been, closing their gap a little bit quicker, but, a bit of a lucky one.
So 2-1 after one, and then we go to the second period, and actually this will be the third period because it was score remained 2-1 into the third, but a nice little step by from Oliver Shillington. How about the shot?
Sweet. You can't place that any better. And they just ripped one off the post just moments before that. Right. So it took a lot of chances to get to UC Saros, but the Flames kept pressuring. And you know what? Oliver Shillington's, he's showing us, you know, what type of a player he is. And he's maturing and he's jumping in at the right times. He's doing well.
Nice step up, his first goal of the season, and obviously a timely one as it sends this game to overtime. But here's one where, you know, I know that Flames are looking at, maybe they're looking for a call there, but finished off by Matt Duchesne on a 2-on-1. Tough spot for everyone on the odd man rush.
Yeah, pretty tough right here. Puck's in his feet, sticks in his feet. I think it could have kind of gone either way. And then this is just a clear-cut 2-on-1. It's a good pass and a phenomenal shot by Matt Duchesne.
No place for Jacob Markstrom to find that one. Perfectly placed by Matt Duchesne, his third of the season. That's your difference in this hockey game, 3-2. The Nashville Predators end up winning it. And, you know, I guess maybe first of all, just because we kind of talked about it in those highlights, you know, when you go through a stretch and you're not trailing games, and I know it's obviously a lot better to play with the lead, but what did you make of, you know, a couple of times here in this hockey game, the Flames played trailing the game, but still, you know, were able to generate some chances, and maybe just the structure of their game? Did it change at all? Did you see anything shift for them?
I really liked the first period for the Flames. I think they've been doing a great job of having cohesiveness out there. They're moving around as like a 5-man unit. Forwards are back checking, allowing defensemen to stand up. Defensemen are mixing into the offense, which is helping keep offensive zone pressure. I just felt like we got away from it a little bit as the game went on. There were some times at the end of the first period where it got a little bit run and gun, some lapses in the second period, but the third period overall was pretty short up by both teams.
Well, and you talked about, you know, just sort of what you've been seeing in this stretch, and maybe that's what leads to a lot of these chances here in this first period with, you know, the pressure at the blue line and not really letting teams get in.
I know on the first chance we just saw by Tkachuk, there was great defensive structure. On this one, you know, got to laugh at that one a little bit. The sniper up in 309 got Tkachuk. It ended up not being a chance, but 2 or 3 of those breakaways were a direct result of back pressure by the forwards. Defensemen in good position, turn the puck over and get back on your horse and go the other way.
Yeah, for sure, and it led to a number of opportunities. Not often you see, you know, 3 breakaways in the span of 3 or so minutes there, which is what we saw for the Calgary Flames for sure. I guess let's go to the coach now, because head coach Daryl Sutter, he's gone to the podium, so obviously we'll get a chance to break down a little bit more of this game as the post-game show rolls along, but let's hear from the head coach Daryl Sutter now.
Daryl, curious, what did you see on that last play with Backlund? Did he step on the puck, or how did that?
I just saw. I didn't see a replay. Obviously, I saw what you did. So I don't know if he was stripped or stepped in the puck, but the plays before that, our defense has got to keep the puck, can't just throw it nowhere there.
Feel like you guys deserved a bit better fate tonight?
Yeah, you know what? It's still a step for us. It's a battle back point, right? You come from behind the third. It's still a good point. It's something that point is a big point for you.
The power play, I don't have the sheet right in front of me, sorry. I believe the power play was 1 for 6 tonight. Was that just a goalie playing really well, or?
Well, that's still if you score 1 power play goal a game, that's still pretty good. And actually, the second one was right after. I think in the third, those, you know, you're using short memory again, because you're looking at the one in the third where they don't give much coming into the zone, right? And so you got to put pucks in, and you know, the goal we scored was a possession play in their zone, so not so much entering the zone. And so, you know what, power play scores a goal every game. I'd take that. I think that I got to think we had a lot of good opportunities, especially in the second period, that probably where we could have shot.
Is it, I mean, all losses are probably tough, but are losses like this a bit easier to digest when you feel like you've played as
No. Thankfully, we got a point. There was, in the past, this team wouldn't have got a point.
Any update on Richie?
No. He was deemed out of the game, so.
Number 58 have a good game tonight?
Pardon?
Number 58 have a good game tonight?
Yeah, he had some jump that you expect that. You know, he's a young guy and he's got good legs. They've had a couple of days off, off to the races.
Daryl, Emily Kaplan from ESPN is reporting that you're one of 2 teams in the Jack Eichel sweepstakes. What would he add to the roster if you joined this team?
I would think that you would have to ask the general manager about that, not the coach.
Pretty chaotic on the bench, being down a man basically the whole game.
Got to manage the bench properly. You know, we're lucky we got guys that can play different positions, but you got to be sharp too. I mean, you get 11 guys and you're used to playing four lines. It's not chaotic. Just you got to stay sharp. And I think the big thing is, I thought our forwards were fine. I think our defense had its moments tonight.
You mentioned in the past this team may not have gotten a point in that scenario. Something else that probably would have happened is seeing Oliver Shillington jump on the ice with a minute left in a tie game. What's changed about his game that's given you that confidence to have him out there?
Well, I think he's managing his puck play better, I would say. I think he's playing with a partner better instead of ad-libbing. I think there's structure to his game that probably wasn't there before in terms of where you want him in terms of positioning on the ice. I think we think a lot alike in the game. It's just to cut, just to eliminate that one big mistake in his game, and he's done a good job of that.
I apologize. This is announced already.
No, I get it, but it's not a.
Oh no, I just was asking about. I wanted to ask about just how do you bounce back from, or is there even a bounce back needed from a game like this?
No, we just keep the same effort, keep making baby steps forward. Good enough.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, there is some thoughts from the head coach of the Calgary Flames, Daryl Sutter, and right away, I mean, one of the things that stands out, at least to me, is the extra point. Because you get the point when you come back and grab one. Those are big over the course of an 82 season. Is that kind of the mindset you take, from a game where you're able to scratch one out?
Yeah, you maybe look at the shot clock and you think, well,
yeah,
hey, maybe the result should have been different, but no, if you're scrapping and clawing from behind and you do what you need to do to tie the game up and get it to overtime, I mean, that's huge. These points are very valuable. There's always that worry about having a phenomenal road trip, coming home, and then having a stinker, maybe the first or the second one, and they've proven that they've been ready to play. Big win against the Flyers, and now another good effort here, and at least snuck 1 point out of it.
Yeah, well said. All right, let's. One thing we wanted to point out, I know that it got brought up twice in that press conference, just about the overtime and the chances there, and Michael Backlund, maybe the potential. So we got a little potential penalty. We got a couple of looks here. There was the hook kind of in front of the net, and then the potential trip afterwards. But let's see maybe what we can kind of garner from an extra replay or two. It happened so fast in the overtime session, but here was the first one kind of on the rebound that he thought maybe there was a little hook to the hands. And
it's caught in there, and generally that will get called. Yeah. It looks like that corner ref is in good position, who could have made the call. It wasn't blatant. And then here,
the stick,
you tell me, was it stick or was it puck?
Yeah, it looks stick. Looks stick for sure, but I don't know. Overtime, those are the ones that you don't know. You can't ever guarantee you're going to get those calls. I guess.
No, and we have to recall, just 3 minutes left in the third period. The Flames they got an obvious power play that they should have had, and that's maybe the one you want to take advantage of. And the refs don't get it right all the time, and I can understand why they might have let Kachuk's go. Guy's got one hand on his stick, but it'll get called both ways.
It will get called. Eventually, it'll all come out in the wash, as they say. So, all right, let's go back into the media room. I think we got a couple more. So Matthew Tkachuk and Oliver Shillington there now. So let's get some thoughts on two guys who are very prevalent in this hockey game. Obviously, both Calgary Flames goal scorers.
Matthew, Daryl was just talking about how in the past maybe that's not a point this team gets come from behind the third period. What do you like about the way you guys battled back in that final point?
I was never worried that we weren't going to get that game to overtime. I actually thought the way it was going, we were going to win in regulation, but I guess anything can happen in 3-on-3, and they got the extra point there. But I think we feel pretty good in those situations right now, or at least we did tonight.
What did you like specifically about your game, Matthew? The team's game, sorry.
I just thought we were all over them. I mean, just got to bear down and bear our chances. Should have been up like 4-1 or 4-2 or 5. Could have had 4 or 5 after the first period, so just got to bear down. Yeah.
You tip your hat to Juicy Saros on that, or was it execution?
Yeah, he played good. I mean, we missed a lot, but he played solid. He was a great goalie.
Oliver, can you just go through your goal with us? And obviously, you're quite elated to score that, and it's probably meaningful for you in lots of ways.
Yeah, no, I just got into the play there off the bench, and Manch made a good play to Tani, and I was open there for Tani, and I just tried to pick my corner, and it went in. So I thought it was a big goal for us there, but obviously it stinks a little bit because we didn't get the win. So I thought we showed good resilience, and we got back into the game. We, like Chucky said, we created a lot of chances, and we maybe should have scored on some of them, but yeah, he's a good goalie too.
It's been a bit of an interesting year for you, just obviously being healthy scratched at the beginning of the year to where you are now. You know, can you just weigh in on how you felt about your progression?
I just try to stay in the present right now and take game by game and just try to get better as a player and get better as a team and just go from there.
How satisfying is that, though, to be leaned on, tie game, you're out there in the final minute, like that part of your game to be trusted?
I mean, yeah, I think every player wants to play a lot, and I want to play key minutes, and I want to try to do what I can to get us going and win every game. So I'm just trying to focus on my individual performance, so that will help the team to be successful. So I'm just trying to stay in the game and just focus on each and every game.
What would you guys say is the biggest thing that you improved upon during this, or learned about yourselves during this six-game win streak and tonight? You've done a lot of good things up until now.
I think just finding ways to win and really understanding how hard it is to win and really sticking with it and just finding new ways, like I said before, and being a resilient group and really believing in each other and just building on our game and trying to get better as individuals and as a team for each and every game.
Matthew, what did you see on that last play? Was Backlund tripped?
Well, I just saw he was going to have possession, so he had the puck, and then it looked like he either got tripped or stepped on the stick, but that stick was definitely under his foot. But that's it's unfortunate, but no excuse. We had a lot more opportunity. We had a lot of opportunities on the power play, so didn't capitalize. That especially that one at the end of the third, you want to get that goal and win the game in regulation. So, but I was behind it. There's a couple of guys, but looked like the stick got under there, but it's all good.
We call it the Ram 1500 Limited. But truth be told, there's nothing limited about it. Ram 1500, winner, J.D. Power Award for Best Driver Appeal.
Flames postgame live brought to you by Ram Truck, winner of Motor Trend Truck of the Year for the third year in a row. Brendan Parker alongside Cory Sarich as we break down a 3-2 Nashville Predators win here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Snaps that 6-game win streak as we talked about. And we listen in on Matthew Tkachuk and Oliver Shillington there. Chances are going to be kind of the theme over the next day or so, and there was plenty of them. But, that line we were just talking about played a lot. What did you see in terms of some of the looks they had, and maybe specifically on a guy like number 19, Matthew Tkachuk, who now scores in back-to-back games here? They've
had good chemistry. I've really enjoyed watching these guys play together. I think it's a pretty dynamic line. You've got Lindholm, who's pretty well-rounded everywhere. Tkachuk, who will go and retrieve pucks, and then you've got Johnny, who can make plays. So Matthew Tkachuk was spot on tonight. He was mixing it up around the net. He had lots of great opportunities in front here, and again, you got to give that goalie credit. But I think maybe the only thing was at times they maybe hung on to the puck a little bit too long. I know maybe Johnny could be faulted for that a little bit tonight, but he's in spots where he's working himself to the side of the net, and sometimes those little seam passes open up. So some nights it's there, some nights it's not there. But again, without the goaltending tonight, maybe some of the back check and desperation from the Predator defense, they're getting a couple more points, but lots of minutes by these guys.
Yeah, we were just taking a look at it. I mean, Johnny finishes at 22-34. You know, Matthews in there at just over 22 minutes as well, and then Lindholm's, you know, same thing, 22 and a half. So anytime you got a forward line that's, you know, playing in that 22 range, that's a good night. That's a good night's work.
Those are like defensive statistics. I know it factors in. There was a few power plays for the Flames tonight, and you have a little bit of overtime, but
and you lose Brett Ritchie obviously too. That, you know, early in the game, so you're shuffling guys around a little bit.
And then, you know, the Flames have had a lead for most of the season, so being down by a goal, you know, you need your top forwards out there to often tie the game for you. So can't fault Daryl for having that line out there. They've been clicking.
Just one last one before we let you go. I know we were discussing Oliver Shillington, and just because he ends up scoring that big game tying goal, you know, you talk about some maturity and some, you know, guy taking a step, and maybe we just kind of look at some of the work from Oliver Shillington here tonight. But what have you seen in this more extended period from Shillington here?
I just think I've always been kind of the big believer that the less you see a defenseman, the better. Maybe not on the offensive side of the puck. Like here, he obviously scores a beauty. But when it's a guy in his own end and he's a guy who's learning the ropes, when you're making smart, just quick little plays, your first plays, easy plays, that usually sets you up for success. Get out of your end so you can go and obviously Oliver has a lot of offensive upside. We can see him jumping into the plays, and I think he's feeling more comfortable. He's starting to be able to do it at the right time. I feel just maybe in the years past, trying to force it a little bit or thinking that he needs to do it. I think he's done a great job of working on his defensive game first, and now getting an opportunity, just adding at the other end of the rink.
Yeah, paying it at the other end for sure. By the way, we got a little Movember going on here.
Yeah, by the looks of what I can see over here on the monitor, it's little Movember right now. It needs some serious help.
You need some help a little bit. Well, I'd say like I got by. I'm going to, but mine's gonna be even worse. So
are you?
Yeah, I know. See, like I was just gonna wait until like mid-month and then declare my Movember.
I know. I was gonna come in full beard and then shave it all off after that, but.
You went for it.
Can't cheat it,
That's good. Well, that's good because, obviously there's a few players. I saw Monahan's got to go. Those guys cheated, though. Branson's got he's got a full Movember going on already. You're supposed to knock it down right to the wood for the first day. That's what the idea is.
I think just as long as you're participating, it doesn't matter. And I know I spearheaded our team here.
Did you?
The Calgary Flames, and got pretty much the whole team on board one year, and we had one of the worst Novembers we'd ever had on the ice, so guys couldn't wait to get the mustaches off and
shave it off.
Yeah, it wasn't. I threw a little thank you party, just in downtown Calgary, just to thank all the boys for participating, and it was a pretty glum group.
You're right. So hopefully the superstition doesn't, because you got to just at that point you're happy to get rid of it, and then hope it turns. Did it turn? How did December go?
Yeah, not bad. Actually, the rest of that season was pretty good. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's not for these guys. That's probably just because I was spearheading it.
That was only you. Well, I appreciate you taking the blame for it. But we'll give you the Movember updates as it goes, though. That'll be fun for the month of November. Corey's going to be back with us for quite a few games here this month. So. And throughout the season. So thanks for doing it tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Lots of fun.
All right, so the first one with Corey here on the desk, and we look forward to a few more. But as for the result tonight, not the way that the Calgary Flames were hoping it would go. 3-2 the final tonight. The win streak is snapped at 6 games, but the point streak continues, if you want to look at it that way. And as Daryl Sutter put it, a big point coming from behind to get it tied up at 2 heading into overtime. Next up for the Calgary Flames, right back at it on Thursday night, another 7 o'clock start as the Dallas Stars are in town and this 5-game homestand continues. We'll see you on Thursday.